When you do this, a narcissist's body will immediately vibrate and be easy to control. Have you ever felt ensnared in the intricate web of a narcissist's manipulative schemes, constantly dancing to the tune of their unpredictable mood swings and whims? If so, rest assured, you're not alone in this tumultuous journey. When a narcissist gains control over your emotions and actions, they perceive themselves as wielding immense power and dominance. They relish in the ability to manipulate your joy or sorrow at their whim, driven solely by their selfish desires. But what if you could rewrite the narrative and reclaim your autonomy? What if you made the conscious choice not to play into their game? Today, we embark on a journey to uncover why narcissists fear your silence, and how embracing this empowering choice can reshape the dynamic of your interactions with them. But before we delve deeper, we want you to know that personalized assistance is available to support you in navigating the challenges posed by a narcissistic presence in your life. For as little as $1 a week, our dedicated support team is here to guide you on your path to healing and liberation. Click the link in the description below to embark on this transformative journey. Now let's unravel the intricate layers of employing stillness within the realm of a narcissistic relationship. Perhaps you've experienced those moments when they abruptly cease communication with you. It's a scenario that unfolds more frequently than we prefer, and each instance delivers a palpable blow to the soul, doesn't it? To truly grasp the potency of silence, we must first comprehend why narcissists opt for this tactic of non-communication. How seamlessly they transition from lavishing you with attention to withdrawing into silence, leaving you isolated and bewildered in their wake. Narcissists employ this behavior for a multitude of reasons. Firstly, it stems from their unyielding pride. They adamantly believe that every word uttered and action taken by them is infallible, refusing to shoulder any responsibility for their wrongdoings, regardless of the gravity or impact on your well-being. Consequently, if you dare to challenge them, unveil their falsehoods, confront them about their detrimental behavior, or endeavor to engage in a candid discussion regarding your emotions, they will shut you out, sealing off all avenues of communication. Confronting reality is simply beyond their emotional capacity. They understand all too well that exposing their vulnerabilities would tarnish the pristine facade they tirelessly uphold, yet they lack the emotional fortitude to confront this harsh truth. It's crucial to bear in mind that their apparent concern for your well-being is nothing more than a facade. Another motive behind their silent treatment is to manipulate and inflict harm upon you. Remarkably, their silence can serve as a potent weapon, sowing seeds of doubt within you and causing you to question your own judgment. Perhaps you found yourself in situations where you present a differing viewpoint to the narcissist, backed by irrefutable evidence supporting your stance. However, their inflated ego vehemently rejects the truth, opting instead to gaslight you and invalidate your perspective. The narcissist wields a cunning knack for manipulating every scenario to their advantage. They're skilled at shifting blame onto you during arguments, leaving you bewildered and struggling to grasp what just occurred. Regardless of the issue at hand, they ensure you bear the blame, punishing you through their silent treatment. This silence persists until one of two scenarios unfolds. You apologize or promise never to bring up the matter again. Narcissists vehemently avoid confronting their past, reacting defensively and with grievance even at the mere mention of recent events. Their goal, once again, is to dodge accountability for their actions. But what if you decided to alter the dynamics of this game? What if you chose to disengage from communication with them? What if you showed them the consequences they deserve? Let me tell you, they'd be terrified. Why, you might wonder. Because narcissists recognize they've pushed boundaries too far and overstepped when you refuse to engage, depriving them of the satisfaction of a reaction. The thought of your absence, the fear of losing their power over you, and the realization that you're no longer responsive instill deep dread within them. The mere concept of silence and withdrawal poses a significant threat to a narcissist. However, here's a critical point to ponder. Narcissists can never bid farewell. Think about all the unresolved conflicts from the past. Each instance of their sudden silence sparks a new argument without resolution, endlessly cycling, because they lack the ability to genuinely conclude matters. When you opt not to respond, they swiftly realize they've crossed a boundary. Despite their anger and attempts to manipulate or provoke you back into communication, they understand that your silence reflects their own behavior towards you. They grasp that addressing their wrongdoings with you will necessitate offering an explanation and seeking resolution. This awareness places them under immense stress. You might understandably question whether maintaining silence and holding them accountable makes you a monster. Rest assured it does not. Your intention isn't to harm them, but rather to protect yourself and ensure you receive the answers you rightfully deserve. Choosing silence might serve as a way for you to ease your own pain. Let's confront the truth. You've likely endured numerous cycles of silent treatment throughout your relationship with the narcissist. But why do they resort to silence? It's rooted in their inability to form genuine connections or communicate effectively, not only with you but with others as well. However, it's essential to refrain from using silence as a tool for vengeance. Instead, embrace it after exploring all other avenues. You've attempted reasoning, expressed genuine emotions, and held them accountable, yet with no positive outcome. The narcissist thrives on the satisfaction of always being the victor, reveling in the confusion they sow to gain attention and evoke internal distress. Understanding this, you'll realize you've exhausted all options and said all that needs saying, leaving silence as the next step. Reclaiming control begins with recognizing that maintaining a toxic relationship with a narcissist only serves their agenda. Investing time and energy in trying to change them is futile. Shift your focus inward, prioritizing your well-being. Understand this. Nothing you say or do will alter the dynamics with this toxic individual. Engaging only fuels their appetite for conflict. By choosing silence, you not only benefit yourself, but also provoke a significant reaction, paving the way to break free from their hold. Thank you for tuning in, and stay vigilant for those telltale signs. Keep your wits about you, stay resilient and bold, and embark on the journey to live your best life today. If you do this to a narcissist, they will feel deep pain and will commit suicide. Hey there, lovely folks. Welcome back to our video. Today, we're delving deep into the fascinating world of what happens when a narcissist faces rejection. We'll explore why thwarting a Hoover maneuver can be a powerful strategy for breaking free from narcissistic manipulation. Ultimately, the key to breaking the cycle of abuse lies in your choice and your ability to disregard a narcissist's relentless pursuit. Much like the Hoover vacuum cleaner, narcissists exert considerable effort to draw their victims back into their sphere of influence. However, when their attempts to hoover are rebuffed, it often triggers heightened aggression in their gaslighting tactics, bruising their fragile ego and fueling their narcissistic rage. The more steadfast you are in establishing and upholding firm boundaries, the better you can safeguard your self-respect and embark on a journey of healing from the abuse. Despite their persistent efforts at hoovering, narcissists will eventually relent if they repeatedly face rejection. Each attempt at hoovering is meticulously crafted to manipulate you into compliance with their desires. The concept of a narcissistic void suggests that individuals with narcissistic personality disorder experience a profound sense of emptiness and lack of authentic identity. They rely on a steady stream of narcissistic supply to fill this void and validate their inflated sense of self-worth. Therefore, even after you've severed ties or established clear boundaries, hoovering serves as a means for them to assert dominance and reaffirm their perceived control. Regrettably, the narcissist bent on hoovering often perceives their deceitful conduct as acceptable, even encouraged. You may find yourself hesitating to confront the aftermath of rejecting them. Perhaps you fear exacerbating the situation or subjecting yourself to further physical or emotional abuse. Yet, ignoring these persistent hoovering behaviors is paramount for extricating yourself from an abusive relationship and prioritizing your well-being. It's important to recognize that rebuffing a narcissist's bid for dominance won't immediately garner their respect or concern for your welfare. Narcissists typically don't handle rejection well, regardless of its necessity. Whether the rejection is genuine or merely perceived, narcissists may exhibit the following behaviors when their attempts at hoovering fall short. 1. Persistent hoovering. Upon your initial rejection of a narcissist's advances, expect them to persist in their efforts. They don't truly honor your decision. Rather, they anticipate your eventual capitulation to their demands. However, if they sense your resolve in ignoring their tactics, they may escalate and alter their hoovering tactics. Unfortunately, if there's a history of on-again, off-again dynamics, this only reinforces their stalking behaviors. 2. A torrent of apologies. Some narcissists inundate their victims with apologies as part of their hoovering strategy. They may utter phrases like, "I deeply regret causing you pain," attempting to convey sincerity. They might promise, "I'll never do it again. Please just talk to me." Alternatively, they might show a semblance of accountability with statements such as, "I acknowledge my frequent outbursts. I realize I need to manage my anger better. I'm sorry, it won't happen again." Enduring these apologies in the midst of a toxic relationship can be immensely challenging. However, it's crucial to remember that actions speak louder than words. While narcissists may articulate remorse, their past conduct is the true indicator. Do you genuinely believe they will rein in their narcissistic tendencies? Can you trust them to foster kindness, tranquility, and empathy in the future? 3. Disregarding your rejection. Narcissists may adopt a facade of indifference when confronted with rejection. Even if you've distanced yourself, they'll feign ignorance, gaslighting you into believing your rejection never occurred. This tactic aims to portray them as unruffled and unaffected, as if your actions hold no sway over them. They aim to diminish the significance of your boundaries, making you question your own perception. In practice, this manifests as continued communication from them, as if the rejection never transpired. They might increase their efforts to contact you, attempting to maintain the illusion of normalcy. Their persistent pursuit highlights their inability to respect your boundaries, revealing their manipulative nature. 4. The narcissistic storm of fury. As you continue to evade a narcissist, the likelihood of their anger boiling over increases. Narcissists crave control in every aspect of their relationships. Thus, even a hint that someone else might be establishing healthy boundaries can deeply unsettle them, triggering intense reactions. Narcissistic rage can manifest in various forms, ranging from explosive outbursts to calculated, insidious maneuvers. It might be a sudden eruption of violent tantrums, or a sustained campaign of subtle manipulation aimed at undermining your self-esteem and confidence. However, it's crucial to understand that this rage isn't merely about expressing frustration. Instead, it serves as a manipulative tool, a meticulously orchestrated performance designed to intimidate and unsettle others. Weaponizing their anger, they aim to keep you off kilter and perpetually anxious. The narcissist desires to instill guilt within you for disregarding their seemingly benevolent gestures. Their sole objective is to provoke a reaction from you, and they'll employ any means necessary to achieve it. Through these tactics, they seek to regain the upper hand and ensnare you further in their toxic web of deceit. 5. Appeasing your desires, manipulating your heart. In desperate bids to salvage a crumbling relationship, narcissists may resort to dramatic gestures. They might unexpectedly appear at your doorstep with an engagement ring, despite vehemently opposing marriage in the past. Alternatively, they could send a photo from a therapist's office, feigning a newfound willingness to seek help after months or even years of resistance. For those emotionally invested, these grandiose displays of change can be incredibly tempting to believe. However, it's vital to recognize that these acts are often veiled forms of love bombing, designed to lure you back into their sphere of influence. 6. Tarnishing your image. When feeling sidelined, some narcissists retaliate by tarnishing your reputation to garner sympathy and attention for themselves. They strive to portray themselves as the virtuous one, while painting you as the villain in the narrative of the relationship. This smear campaign may involve spreading falsehoods or twisting your truths against you. Vulnerabilities shared in confidence could be exploited, such as citing your parental anxieties to discredit you, suggesting you weren't truly committed to parenting. It's a heartbreaking manipulation tactic aimed at sowing doubt and discord, all while positioning themselves as the savior figure for your children. 7. Shifting the blame onto you. When faced with rejection, narcissists often resort to avoidance and projection. Unable to fathom a legitimate reason for your refusal to engage, they twist the narrative to paint you as the villain. Through their distorted lens, you're the heartless one, indifferent and unwilling to salvage the relationship. Suddenly, you're the scapegoat for all their woes. Recognize this tactic for what it is: a cunning ploy to divert attention away from their own shortcomings. By shifting the blame onto you, they evade accountability and preserve their inflated ego. 8. Swiftly jumping into another relationship. Narcissists crave constant attention and validation, known as narcissistic supply. Instead of persistently attempting to reel you back in, they may channel their energy into swiftly moving on. This behavior is why narcissists often boast a history of rapid, intense relationships. They despise solitude and perpetually seek someone to fulfill their insatiable need for admiration. Moreover, they hope that flaunting their new relationship will provoke jealousy in you. While it may be hurtful and bewildering to witness their rapid rebound, remember that it's a reflection of their inability to foster genuine, mutually respectful connections. They are only interested in satisfying their own desires. 9. Resorting to gifts as a last-ditch effort. In a last-ditch effort to cope with rejection, some narcissists may resort to giving gifts. These offerings can carry various meanings. They might signify remorse, a purported change in behavior, or simply a desperate bid to regain your attention. It's akin to a form of love bombing, where the narcissist inundates you with affection and material possessions in an attempt to manipulate your emotions. Interestingly, these lavish gifts often surface during tumultuous periods in the relationship. There's a deliberate motive behind this gesture. The narcissist employs these gifts as a distraction, diverting attention away from the underlying issues plaguing the relationship. It's imperative to recognize this tactic for what it is: an ostentatious display that fails to address the fundamental problems at the core of the relationship. 10. self-destructive behaviors. Occasionally, when faced with rejection, narcissists may engage in self-destructive behaviors that harm themselves. For instance, covert or vulnerable narcissists may resort to self-harm or even contemplate suicide when they feel spurned. Such responses are deeply concerning and warrant immediate professional intervention. In an attempt to cope with their emotional anguish, some narcissists may resort to unhealthy coping mechanisms such as substance abuse, disordered eating patterns, gambling addiction, or other detrimental habits. This behavior often serves as a desperate plea for attention and assistance, underscoring the critical importance of seeking professional help and support. 11. Orchestrating dramatic crises and continuous emergencies. A telltale sign of narcissistic hoovering is the perpetual involvement in dramatic crises. You might receive distressing messages about a sudden medical emergency, a gravely ill family member, escalating despair, or the impending demise of a cherished pet, accompanied by a request for your emotional support or presence. Dealing with these fabricated scenarios can be particularly challenging. The narcissist relies on your inherent compassion and concern for their well-being, leveraging your empathy as a means to maintain contact and manipulate your emotions. 12. Perpetuating the victim role. Even in the absence of direct communication, narcissists often persist in portraying themselves as victims when questioned about the breakup. If they still have avenues to reach your family or mutual acquaintances, they seize every opportunity to malign your character while exalting their own innocence and virtue. Coping with the narcissist's persistent hoovering attempts can be emotionally taxing and intricate. Understanding their tactics can empower you to safeguard your mental well-being and resist their manipulative grasp. Remember, prioritizing your mental and emotional health is paramount, and resisting their efforts to ensnare you in their web of manipulation is essential. I trust this video provided valuable insights into narcissistic behavior and strategies employed upon facing rejection. If you found the information informative or engaging, please remember to like, comment, and share this video with others who may benefit. Additionally, don't forget to subscribe for more compelling content. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you for your assistance. When you are silent and no longer attracted to the narcissist, this is what will happen to the narcissist every day. In the intricate dance of emotions, narcissists tiptoe on the precipice, viewing feelings as a perilous weakness and potential threat. Their parental landscape, barren of encouragement in their formative years, morphs into a struggle to articulate emotions as adults. The conviction that strength is the currency for respect surrounds them, for what could be more dreadful than the absence of admiration and regard? A warm invitation echoes through the corridors of understanding. Welcome to this cinematic exploration, tailor-made for those intrigued by the enigma of narcissism. In today's feature presentation, we delve into the mystique of silence, distinguishing between administering the silent treatment to a narcissist and finding yourself on the receiving end. We, unlike our narcissistic counterparts, do not shroud ourselves in silence to manipulate affection or attention. Unraveling the art of effectively employing the silent treatment on a narcissist, we venture into the realm of speculation on the responses one might anticipate when words cease to flow. In the vast tapestry of existence, narcissists weave their threads ubiquitously, presenting a formidable challenge to those seeking to steer clear. Understanding the art of evading collaboration with these enigmatic beings becomes invaluable, recognizing that not every contract extended by a narcissist is a pact worth signing. To shield oneself from the emotional tumult orchestrated by a narcissist, one must summon the courage to stand tall, resisting the urge to respond to their advances or betray any inkling of concern. Our version of radio silence diverges markedly from the narcissistic playbook. A narcissist might wield this tactic as a weapon, a means to punish and dominate those in their sphere. When confronted with rejection, criticism, or any form of challenge, the narcissist retreats into silence, a shield against the storm of accountability, plotting their next move or securing their supply. In this intricate narrative of human dynamics, the silent interplay unfolds, revealing the divergent paths of those who wield silence as a weapon and those who embrace it as a shield. In the mysterious realm of the narcissist's sudden silence, a foreboding plot unfolds, and its intentions are rarely benevolent. When the narcissist opts for silence, it's not a mere pause, but a malevolent act designed to inflict harm. Their quiet reverberates with meanness, cruelty, and an underlying current of ill will. Yet, paradoxically, our response is not rooted in malice, but in a desperate quest for self-preservation, a strategic retreat into silence, the art of going grey rock, or any other measure that shields us from the emotional tempest conjured by the narcissistic storm. Trusting the narcissist proves a colossal misstep, a realization etched in the tapestry of our experiences. The dance with narcissists is fraught with peril, a delicate tightrope walk that demands caution and resilience. Anticipating the narcissist's attempt to test the limits, we brace ourselves for a barrage of words and actions aimed at unsettling our emotional equilibrium. Simultaneously, we must remain vigilant, recognizing the narcissist's potential to accuse us of mental abuse and neglect should we choose silence as our shield against their machinations. In their twisted narrative, our silence morphs into intentional deception, a deliberate act of betrayal. The truth, however, is that narcissists lie indiscriminately, weaving a fabric of deceit in every interaction. Another facet of the intricate dance with narcissists lies in their reluctance to swallow their own bitter medicine. As we maintain our silence, the narcissist, bewildered and fretful, grapples with the discomfort of our non-response. Our refusal to cater to their emotional needs exacerbates their predicament. In this intricate choreography, silence emerges as our most potent weapon, a shield that denies them control, for they can only manipulate us when we willingly expose our true thoughts and feelings. In this enigmatic theatre of the mind, the silence we wield becomes our art, a means of self-defense against the narcissist's calculated attempts to hurt and control. Paradoxically, we become the supposed villains when we, too, employ silence to safeguard our well-being. In the realm of silence, we wield a shield against the desires of narcissists, thwarting their attempts to manipulate and control. No power play is at work here. It's a strategic retreat for the preservation of safety, the paramount concern that eclipses all else. Self-care emerges as the guiding principle, an unwavering commitment that should not be compromised, especially in the face of a narcissist's attempts to instill guilt. The art of ignoring a narcissist is a nuanced dance, distinct from embodying narcissistic traits, no matter the labels they may fling our way. Silence, when employed, is not always an act of personal harm. Rather, it becomes a fortress against the narcissist's attempts to weave their manipulative web. It's the most effective means to reclaim control and halt their incessant attempts to intrude upon our emotional landscape. In the intricate dance with narcissists, ignoring becomes a potent tool to curtail their influence and cease their persistent interference. Refusing to grant them access to our thoughts and feelings denies them the emotional reactions they crave. Allowing a narcissist into our lives exposes us to the mind games they play, draining our mental and emotional reservoirs. By resisting their attempts to elicit emotional responses or understanding, we force them to seek alternate paths, diminishing their ability to manipulate our thoughts and feelings. In the face of name-calling and hurtful remarks designed to tarnish our reputation, the strategy is clear: give them nothing. Expect their attempts to incite a reaction, but stand firm in the commitment to avoid being drawn into their toxic drama. Narcissists, surprisingly, are more repelled by those who actively avoid them, an outcome that aligns perfectly with our goal of distancing ourselves from their harmful influence. If the tactic of the cold shoulder or grey rocking proves effective in silencing their chatter, so be it. Our mental and emotional energy is too precious to squander on those who seek only to drain us. It's a proactive stance to safeguard ourselves from the myriad ways in which narcissists can inflict harm if left unchecked. Empowerment lies in our hands to proactively thwart any attempts by them to disrupt our path once more. My earnest desire is to advocate for everyone to take decisive steps to distance themselves from narcissists. It's crucial to recognize that the influence of narcissists only extends as far as we allow ourselves to be emotionally entangled with them. Maintaining a calm demeanor when navigating interactions with narcissists is paramount, as their modus operandi thrives on seizing control if given the opportunity. That concludes our discourse for today. I trust you've gleaned valuable insights from our discussion. Feel free to share your thoughts by leaving a comment below. Your viewership is deeply appreciated, and I hope you take away something meaningful from this cinematic exploration. When you do this, a narcissist's body will immediately vibrate and be easy to control. Have you ever felt ensnared in the intricate web of a narcissist's manipulative schemes, constantly dancing to the tune of their unpredictable mood swings and whims? If so, rest assured, you're not alone in this